Hello and welcome to LB Presents Unite on Purpose. We have brought together a purpose-driven movement to be able to move towards global unity. What if we could shift education, health, manufacturing, retail to be able to make a positive change in the world? I decided to pull together a program called LB Presents that interviews a business every single day for each week, and we talk to them about what does it mean for them to build a business, to grow a brand, to impact an industry and shift the world. And so tonight I have the great pleasure of introducing Gareth. And Gareth has a business called Got Legs Digital. Yes, I think he's got great legs. And his business is a growth marketing automation business. And it may sound like a typical agency, but let me assure you, this is a business with a difference. And Gareth is an absolute and utter expert at getting your business moving through all the things like SEO and automation and all those sexy things that, yes, you need great legs for to be able to move and walk into a new era. So thank you, Gareth, for coming and joining me on LB Presents today.
Thanks for having me, Lindsay, and thanks for such a wonderful intro.
So, Gareth, you have been around us for a few years. You came into my Bob Business School, gosh, like 3 years ago, was it? Or even not 4?
I think it was 4 years ago, yes.
4 years ago. And then you recently came back around us again, and you've been on our L&D Learning and Development Program, which is the L-shaped recession driving into growth. And you're also helping me build out my YouTube channel that sits around Bob. So before we move into all that, could you just give us a bit of a background as to, number one, I really do want to know, and I've been meaning to ask you this, why Got Legs? You've got great legs, Gareth.
No, it's great. Well, one, it's a conversation starter, so hopefully that's works. But by being part of the Bob process and being with you guys for like 4 years, I've kind of wanted to have purpose as the driving force behind this business. So I've set it up recently, and the name Got Legs has kind of got two parts to it. The first part is helping businesses to get legs and grow, and that's a marketing term. Everyone knows that. But the other part of Got Legs is helping people who have survived amputee or been survivors of amputee situations in Africa. So what we do is we donate prosthetic legs to amputee survivors in Africa based off working with companies. So there's two elements to the business. And I just thought that fits really well in terms of Got Legs and the purpose that we wanted to create.
So I read that in your bio, and I really wanted to ask you about how come you chose prostate legs. Was there something that came in your background around that? Have you always had something around you? Because it's an interesting combination to put together with a growth agency in effect.
No, absolutely. I think where the link came in is wanting. Businesses want traffic. They want footfall. They want legs in their business. People want the legs on their websites. They want visitors. And you can tell from my accent, I speak funny. I'm from South Africa. And it's very much part of the culture there in terms of giving back to the community. And I was working on very much a lot of charitable initiatives back in South Africa. And that's what kind of stemmed where I needed to take this business. So there's never been any personal connection with me or my family or loved ones to Got Legs or needing legs or prosthetic legs. Right. But something that's important to me is making an impact and making a difference. And I knew that by working with one business and we could kind of donate these prosthetic legs, we would be making an impact in the life of someone immediately. And that was important to me.
Wow, it's really, I have to say, I don't think I've come across anybody in my working career that has committed to giving people prostate legs, which I think is actually, when you think about it, is a really wonderful thing to do. So it actually interested me a lot when I read in your bio that it said that, and I thought I must ask him why prostate legs. So look, I have had the pleasure of not only having you in my business school and you working on, you came in with a business in there. You're also on the L&D program, and I've also had the pleasure of working with you myself. And you have a great brain that I have to say is the complete opposite side of my brain. You do more automation, SEO. You're very good at looking at that kind of, well, I would say I've always called it the behind the scenes more of the marketing, but probably one of the most important ones, because it's all where the automation comes in and actually drives the engine of everything that you're doing. And my recognition was always that you can't have one system, which I always feel I've always done the front end without having the automation, the back end. How did you get into all this, and why did you take that route rather than going in the more kind of traditional route?
Yeah, I think from my side, I've always been a little bit of a data nerd. So again, getting into the back end and understanding the metrics of how things work, putting plans together, very analytical, sometimes a bit OCD on that end, whereas if I have a plan, I know what I can execute on. And I found myself when I was working for businesses that didn't have a plan, that we would be all over the place. It would be doing this creative and then this campaign and this, and there was no structure to it. What we did is, I've worked with a lot of big businesses before, American Express and Blackstone Group, and there is very much, it's a strategy, it's a process, with the process. And I found that was really, really beneficial. So I've used that for a while. And then again, when I was working at some of the companies, the data that we were pulling and just understanding target audiences, user behaviors, buying journeys and things like that, just how powerful it was when you combined the two together. If you had a strategy and you knew what your target audience wanted or did or they didn't do, and what they liked and what they didn't like, then you could very easily create those front-end campaigns that would be attracted to them. So by building the foundations, I felt that we had a lot more success when it came to the campaigns and running those campaigns and actually building things that people liked, as opposed to just being sporadic and throwing things around.
Okay, so I'm going to take you back to your days at American Express and Blackstone, was it?
Yes.
And look, I came from, I'm on my fourth business, but my third business that I built out, I worked with very, very big fashion consumer brands. So, G-Stars, Superdrys, and they are, multi-billion pound businesses, not multi-million pound. And when you're working with those types of businesses, they are seriously wanting, I went in and built growth strategies and so forth, and they really want to understand the ROI and everything that sits behind those businesses. So what has it been like? And could you talk to me a little bit about the experience of coming from that area to now working in the entrepreneur space, which is actually chalk and cheese, Gareth, I have to say.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you're coming from big business where there is structure and strategy and process and everything was great. But one of the things I found by working at those businesses, that I felt more like a postman than anything else. As in, I've got a message, send it to an agency, get it done by the agency, send it back, and I didn't feel that I understood the business correctly. So when I left big business, I joined a bootstrapped startup company so that I could actually get my hands dirty and learn everything from bottom to top and top to bottom. And again, it's like you say, when you're in the entrepreneurial journey, you're the coffee boy one day, you're the IT guy the next. There is no structure.
I'm still the coffee girl.
Yeah, coffee girls, there's no process. So it's a very different environment. And again, it depends on where your energy levels sit. And luckily for me, I build the strategy and then I work it out. But yeah, being an entrepreneur is a very interesting journey. I think most people, when they see it, they only see that top of the iceberg. They see the success. Oh, I'm an entrepreneur, but they don't see the hours behind it and the under the desk connecting things up, or the phone calls to HMRC trying to sort out something you have no idea what they're talking about, and still trying to run a business at the same time. So yes, it's interesting, challenging, but again, wouldn't change it for anything.
So it's interesting that you said that, because I reflect on, I've only ever worked for myself. Even though I built other big businesses, I only have ever had my own business. And so I've only known that entrepreneurial life of, exactly like you just said, I have to say, I mean, and also going through the pandemic and the recession. I've been through 2 recessions with 2 different businesses, actually, my shoe business and then my agency. So I have been through recessions, but nothing to the extent of this, I have to say. And we as an organization had to pivot inordinately quickly to be able to get in front of the recession and help the businesses in our network. Because you in a business environment, and you've started in a pandemic and a recession, more or less. What has that been like for you as a person, as a business owner? How has it been?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie, it wasn't part of my plan. You know, I think Mike Tyson said it best. You know, you have a great plan until you get punched in the mouth, and I think maybe no. But yeah, ironically, I left the corporate world on Friday, the 13th of March, and I was like, that's it, I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm going to go start my business. And on the 20th of March, we went into lockdown. And I was like, oh dear, what now?
Oh my God.
But I just felt compelled to do it. You know, I've been in marketing now for nearly 14 years. And what I was finding at working in the corporate world is I was getting approached by these agencies that didn't know what they were talking about. They were telling the wrong things to the businesses, and I seemed to know more than them, and they were charging a fortune. And I just felt that businesses were being ripped off because they didn't know what was being done. And I just felt that we needed to create an ethical marketing agency, which was the driving force for me to kind of continue with what I'm doing. But unlike you, I'd never been part of a recession before, and I had no idea what to come. And I just thought the customers were going to come to me. So I took on board you need to pivot your business. And initially, I was just going to be a digital agency, you know, like hundreds of other agencies out there. And that's what I was going to do, just offer a service. But after being part of the L&D workshops and the webinars that we were on the Tuesdays and the Thursdays, I knew I needed to pivot my business. And what I thought there was businesses were coming from offline and needing to move online. So my tagline became implement, automate, and grow, and start this growth marketing agency. So helping businesses to move their business online and just run things, but then automate it so that they're not spending too much time doing the marketing all the time. It leaves them time to run their own business, and then allows them to scale as well. So that was my pivot of traditional digital agency to growth marketer.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you a trend question, because you know I come from a trends background, and I'm always fascinated with all the different industries. And so you talked to me 2 things that really struck me when you just spoke. One is ethical agency, and the second one is automation agency. Now, ethical agency, what I reflect on, and my question to you is this: agencies have been quite stuck in a period of time where they are really just delivering a service. And what happened was, okay, it moved from delivering one service to the 360-degree agency, which was a sweet spot for people. But what I would say to you is, what do you see? Do you see as the next trend, in your opinion, of the agency world? Because we talked about this a lot on Bob and on the L&Ds and the webinars, and I'd quite like to get your take on what you've learned and what you see coming through the next period of time.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think this is on my future mapping diagram.
Yes, I thought so.
Yeah, no. I think what a lot of people see when they look at marketing, and specifically traditional marketing agencies, is 1, it costs a lot of money, and 2, they don't necessarily see the results. So I think there's this back and forth, like I get an agency, they don't do the results, so I bring it in-house, but they don't have the expertise. And it's, how do I do that? So kind of where I see it going forward now is agencies becoming more part of the value chain. So there's an entry-level product where you've got a team, but they just need to learn about these skills. So it's okay, fine. There's a course that they could take, or maybe we just need a 1 hour or 2 hour consultation or a coaching session with my team. Okay, and they'll go off and then implement something else. Or maybe it's I don't know anything. I just need a hands-free solution. So I mean that's kind of what I've created for Got Legs. It's a done with you, a done by you, and a done for you service, so that it's more catered towards customer centric rather than this is what we do, this is our hourly rate. It's more about how we can help you. At the end of the day, for us, our KPRs are about how many legs we can donate at the end of the year. So if people don't want to buy the top end service, I want to try and help them and make an impact in their business. So at least we're trying to help more people get more legs at the end of the year. So that's where I see it going. It's more business focused and flexible.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you. So I'm going to ask you my golden question, my calling card. You know that I always ask this question to people. Gareth, what are you known for?
So I want to be known for making an impact, changing lives, one step at a time.
Oh, one step at a time with the prosthetic leg. Yeah.
Prosthetic legs, got legs, play on words, helping
everything
else.
Nice. Okay, so talk me through your intention. Talk me through what you are known for, not what you want to be known for, because if we're going to own it, we're going to wear it. So talk me through what that means, please. What's your what's the vision for where you want to really get to?
So yeah, it's basically just taking this business now and making it again an ethical business. As I mentioned as well, it's changing the KPRs, so it's not setting monetary goals, but it's setting impactful goals. It's not working with every business, but it's working with specific businesses that are kind of aligned to our goals and our vision. And it's more about being people, planet, then profit focused, and in that order. So it's something that I think the world needs to change to. As you've mentioned before, we were all product focused, and it was just buy my product. And there's been a shift now, and it's like, how can I help you? Don't sell me a product, solve me a solution, solve me a problem. That's kind of where we're at now. So that's kind of what I want to be known for. Again, changing lives, or making impact, changing lives, and one step at a time.
I love that. And I love that you've started obviously in your hometown, home country. And I'm wondering if you would move into other countries as well, or are you focused on specifically, South Africa or Africa and being able to do it there, or are you going to move into other countries as well, or what's your plan?
Yeah, I'd like to take this on a global, level. The reason why I've chosen Africa, again, Africa is very war-torn. There's a lot of, again, old mines that have been there, Mozambique, Angola, South Africa, Uganda, Tanzania, so there are places there that need assistance. And again, in those countries, if you don't have any legs, you become a burden to the family. So if you provide them with legs, that allows them to go off there, have a job, and make some money, so they can become a value member of society there. So that's where I saw the greatest need initially. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely, taking it worldwide, going viral. I even had a crazy idea of what I wanted to do. I mean, we all know Tiger King. I wanted to kind of go to the guy that has prosthetic legs on Tiger King and ask you whether he would work with me on a charity fundraise to auction off his legs, his prosthetic leg, for charity, and then we'll try and buy him a new one. So I'm still working on that idea to try and see if I can make that happen.
I love that idea. That's a brilliant idea. I absolutely will help you with that if we can support you in any way. That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Yeah.
Love that. Maybe we could Unite on Purpose Summit.
Yeah, yeah.
And actually have That'd be fantastic, and be able to get people to get as many legs as possible.
Yeah, yeah. Because that's the thing. A lot of people here, especially in the UK, is as you grow older, you outgrow your prosthetic legs, and
Yeah, you don't
no
think
one necessarily wants to have a second-hand prosthetic leg in the UK. So what happens is they just get sent to the landfill. So what we'll do is working with them to collect all the legs, put legs together, create parts for the legs that we can then use and ship those to different countries.
Wow, I love that. Okay, so Gareth, hang on. Oh, I've lost my bag. Right, here you go. So here it is. In my bag, I saw Boris today, by the way. He came around the house for a cup of tea. And he said, I said I was interviewing Gareth on my LB Presents, and he said, do you know what? He's a good guy. I'll give you the keys to the country only for the day. So he gave me the keys to the country, and he told me to pass them to you. Hang on, just a minute. Yeah, have you got it? Have you got the bag?
Yeah. What?
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. There you go. Good. Inside that bag are the keys to the country. And he said to me, you've got it for one day and you can do whatever you want to unite people on purpose for one day only. What is it that you would like to do?
Wow. So what I'd like to do, well, it's kind of what we were doing with the Bob Earth when we launched the Unite on Purpose campaign. It's just getting businesses to come together, uniting, speaking the same language, working together, not necessarily for profit, but for purpose, for the greater good. These billionaires and millionaires are making so much money. If we're putting percentages of our profits back and we're helping communities, we'll be able to do so much more and such greater things. And, if we can just all be like-minded and work together on that for one day, I think we'll achieve huge amounts of, so yeah, that would be my things if I had the key to the door.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And could you, just as a shout out for people that are starting a business, you've been through our programs, you've been through my DNA, you've been through L&D. Could you give some of your words of wisdom as to what you've got from the programs and what they may get from it if they were to come and join?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd say, so I've done the training probably about 4 years ago. And it's amazing what was actually resonating and stayed in my brain for 4 years. Because when we joined, now just recently, I was going, that resonated. And I remembered the thing. And I think what was powerful for me was just how you have a system and a structure that you can build into your business. That's an easy to follow process that takes you from step A to step Z with a step-by-step process. So it's not just like you kind of figuring it out all in the dark, but one thing leads into the next, and there's, again, just the pyramid that we talk about, the awareness product, the leverage product, then the core. Just that alone is just so powerful that when you put that or implement that into your business, it'll make a huge difference. And now, especially with this recession, I'd never been through something like this. So I've watched your webinars every Tuesday and Thursday religiously, and I've defined and built and pivoted my business based on the things that you are saying and the things that I'm learning in the community, and I'm noticing the difference like tenfold. So I would probably be in a very different mindset and state of mind if I wasn't part of the L&D program at the moment.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. And do you know what I found interesting as well? Watching so many businesses blossom in the program over a period of time, and how businesses are literally transforming and shifting their businesses over. It's incredible to watch. And obviously you're in the group with them. So, it's really wonderful to see.
Yeah, the stories that you're hearing are amazing, and just what's happening, and it's great because as well you've built that community in Bob Earth, so we can all be there and support one another, and you kind of feel like a family, which is great, and you hear all the successes that are coming out, and I wish I was there at that stage, but I know that I'm in my own little stage, just being a young startup, I would probably be in a much worse position if I hadn't made these changes. So everyone's in a different journey, and you take inspiration from those companies that are further on the journey, and you take comfort knowing that there are other startups along the same lines as you that are in this together, and you can kind of have conversations with them. So it's been a great journey. So thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for coming on my LB Presents. And my time is up. It's always sad. Half an hour goes and it literally rains by. But I'd love to see you on the webinar again on Tuesday morning, which does start Tuesday. So I'll look forward to seeing you then. And
absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming on, and thank you, LB Present viewers, for coming and joining me every single day on my YouTube channel and subscribing as a follower to my YouTube, because every day I am building a brand to grow a business, to impact an industry and shift the world. And I am interviewing, I get the opportunity to interview these incredible businesses that are on Bob Earth, and they are all here to shift the world into a new era through the eyes of them, through the eyes of their brands. So if you would like to come and join us, then hey, come and find us on Bob Earth. We will be spinning around the globe, and you may want to come and connect with all these businesses that I am interviewing and come and build your own business to impact change in the world. And shh, it's a quiet revolution. I'll see you on Monday evening at 5 o'clock, where I will be interviewing Tom from Alatex, and he makes the glass houses for Kew Gardens and some of the biggest national trusts in the country. So that one is not to be missed. And if you would like to, then I do a daily vlog on my LinkedIn. So come and see me on there. See you then. Bye.